Hi, food friends. It's Kevin, and this time we've got Dad behind the camera. Hey, Dad.
Hi, Kevin. I'll do the best that I can.
Oh, I know you'll be fine.
All right.
So what I'm going to make tonight is granola, and this is something that I make fairly often and pretty much give a lot of it away. But you know what? Now we're in the holiday season, and so this is something. If you're like me, you like to make things to give to people. And this is a great thing that you can make to put in those little bags. You know, you get them at the dollar store with the Christmas decorations on them, and you can give to your friends at work or anybody who likes a nice sweet snack. So we're making granola, and here's what we're doing. And Dad, you can come in over here and get a little bit of a shot. We're starting with our oatmeal. So here's the oatmeal. This is 7 cups of just regular old-fashioned oatmeal. Okay?
Okay.
So what we're going to do then to the oatmeal is I've got a cup of brown sugar here. So we're going to add our brown sugar. Wheat germ.
Wheat germ, all right.
So certainly wheat germ's real nutritious, but it also gives sort of a nutty crunch to it. So we got a cup of wheat germ. I'm going to put our wheat germ in there. And then
now what are we putting in?
We're going to put in some flour, whole wheat flour.
Whole wheat flour.
And again, we're going to just put in a cup of whole wheat flour. And it's really good here to use the whole wheat flour and not regular white flour. Again, it's about sort of the flavor. And I think we often think of granola as healthy. Some of the stuff they sell in the stores isn't really healthy because it's loaded with tons of sugar and other things, but this really is. So we've got our brown sugar, wheat germ, whole wheat flour, and our oatmeal. I'm just going to kind of stir all of that stuff around a little bit.
You know, it's funny you should say that all those things in the store are loaded with so much sugar. Dr. Oz today was talking about all the various things you can get at the store, and he was categorizing them with the amount of sugar and or caffeine that they had. And it's
really
remarkable that you were better off using dark chocolate and coffee.
See? So in this case, we are now going to add some of our other things to it. And this is what I love about granola, is that you can really make it your own, and you can put the things in that you really like. Now, I don't have any nuts, but you certainly could put in slivered almonds. You could put in sunflower seeds. You could put in flax seeds. You could put in all kinds of things. But since I'm supposed to stay away from nuts and seeds, I don't put it in. But here's what I've got. I've got about let's call it almost a cup of dried cranberries. Then I've got some, you can come in, Dad. I've got some currants. You could just use regular raisins if you wanted to, but I kind of like these. These are chopped pitted dates. So we're going to put in those. It's probably about a little more than half a cup. I've got some dried apricots. I'm going to put those in. And then finally, some shredded you could use sweetened or unsweetened coconut. And we've got, about a cup of that. Now I'm going to mix that together. Especially with the dried fruit, the apricots and the dates in particular are always kind of sticky. Even though they're dried, they still have a lot of moisture in them. But when you toss them around and they get coated with the flour, it helps to kind of keep them all separated. So what we're going to do is we're going to just really give a good mix to all of our dry ingredients. But you can be, like I said, as creative as you want in terms of kind of what you put in here. It's entirely up to you and what you like. But like I said, this is something really easy to make. And you might not want to give it away. You just may want to eat it yourself. This is great on yogurt. It's great. I eat it as a cereal in the morning. I just put a little milk in it. And then it's just a great snack. So, okay, so now we have to do is we have to make something that kind of binds it all together. So, I'm going to use a mixture of vegetable oil and honey. I'm going to start with the vegetable oil, 3/4 of a cup. Oh, and you know what? Boy, it's right in front of me. I almost forgot.
Oh.
This is another important ingredient. Dried milk.
Dried milk.
So you know what? We're going to put a cup of dried milk in here. That's another good reason to have all your ingredients out in front of you, because you're less likely
to forget something.
Especially like me. I try to do a lot of these recipes just from memory, because a lot of them I've made many time and time again, but it's amazing, even though you've done it 100 times, sometimes, you just forget something.
And that was right in front of you, but it wasn't poured out into a separate container. Yeah, so
I think that was part of why it slipped by. Okay, It's in there now. So back to our binder. We're going to use 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to put the vegetable oil in first, because it's going to lubricate our measuring cup here, so that when we do put the honey in, the honey will come right out. Okay. So there's our vegetable oil, 1/2 cup, or 3/4 of a cup. And now we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of honey.
Is there anything that you do to the honey to make sure it pours out of the container well?
Well, if the honey's relatively fresh, you can see it's very pourable now. However, if honey sometimes will crystallize and harden, you can do one of two things. You can soak it in the container in some warm water, and that'll help loosen it up. Or you could also put it in the microwave for just a few seconds. But see how the honey just pours out real nice there, because the oil sort of coated our measuring cup. All right, so we're just going to blend this together here. Okay, so we've got our oil and our honey mixture. I'm going to put it over our dry ingredients here. We're going to use it all. I'm going to sort of put in this first bit. This really takes a large bowl, so use the biggest bowl you've got. A couple times I made a double batch, and I even used like a very clean dish pan. So I'm going to put the rest of our mix in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend in all of our liquid, which is our honey and oil mix. I'll get that all blended in, and then we'll come on back and we'll get these on their baking sheets and get them in the oven. Okay? So we'll be back in a few. We've got our dry ingredients all mixed together with our honey mixture. And don't be afraid to get in there and use your hands. It should be damp, not sticky, but it should be damp. And what we're going to do is we're going to spread this out into a layer here on a couple of baking sheets. I've preheated the oven to 300 degrees. And so basically, we're going to kind of toast up our granola. So you can see this makes 2 full pans of the granola. I did not spray the pans. These are ungreased. So we're gonna put this in the oven now. For about 40 to 45 minutes. Basically, you want to just sort of get toasted, just lightly brown. So in they go. There's one. And there's 2. So in it goes in our 1961 Westinghouse range, 300 degrees. We'll set a timer here for about 45 minutes and check on it and make sure it's doing okay. Okay? So Dad and I are making granola. So we'll be back after this is done and pull it out. Okay? See you in a few minutes.
Bye-bye now.
Okay, our timer went off. It was 40 minutes, give or take. And we're going to take them out. So here they are. And you can see how they browned up nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of let these hang out and cool off. And then what we'll do is, once they're cool, we'll take them out of the pan and put them in a container. But that's all there is to making granola. So just picking your ingredients, putting them together, giving them some moisture with honey and a little bit of oil, and then crisping them up in the oven. So we've got homemade granola. We'll come back when we get them out of the pans. Again, we didn't grease these pans, but it'll come out nicely, and we'll get it into a container, and then we can distribute it to our friends. So, okay, we'll be back in a little bit making granola. So, we've got our granola. It's cooled off a little bit, and you can see what happens as we take it off. Come in here, Dad, get a tight shot of this. Kind of comes off almost in, pieces. Kind of like, so what I like to do is just sort of take a spatula, go ahead, loosen it up. These large pieces, break it down a little bit, and we'll start moving it to an airtight container. I break it up. You could actually, if you wanted to, you could almost cut it into like bars if you wanted to make granola bars out of it. But I find it comes apart fairly easily. So this is it. We're going to get our granola out of here, and we're going to put it in an airtight container. And like I said, this is great to fill up little gift bags for friends, co-workers, neighbors. You want to take something over that's sort of special. A lot of people bring cookies and things over this time of year, but how about some nice granola? So that's the granola episode. Dad, thanks for your help today.
Okay.
And we're going to put this together, and thanks for being a part of this one, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Take care.